Welcome back to Fireside Fears. If you enjoy chilling, immersive horror stories told in the dark, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let the fire crackle, let the night settle in, and let's begin. The Cabin Beyond Route 19. There's a place about 10 miles past Route 19 that doesn't show up on any modern maps. It's not fenced off, not marked as private property, just a narrow dirt path that disappears into the woods. And at the end of that path stands a cabin. My older brother Jake and I found it when we were teenagers. He was 17, I was 15. We used to take long night drives with no destination, just to escape our parents, who were constantly fighting back then. That night, we were driving home from a movie when Jake spotted the turnoff. There was no sign, just a gap between the trees and what looked like the faint outline of tire tracks leading into the dark. "Let's see where it goes," he said. And we did. The path grew bumpier, narrower, until we had to slow down to a crawl. The trees were so dense they swallowed the headlights, and every so often I'd catch the glint of something. Maybe old metal, maybe eyes, reflecting from the dark. Finally, after about 10 minutes, the path opened into a clearing. And there it was. A small wooden cabin with boarded windows. The porch sagged under its own weight, and the door was cracked open just enough to make you feel like someone was waiting inside. Jake parked and grinned at me. "Haunted house vibes, huh?" I laughed, but not comfortably. The air felt wrong. Heavy. Even the crickets had gone silent. We got out anyway. Inside the cabin was almost empty. Just a few broken chairs, a moldy couch, and a smell like rotting wood and something else. Something sweet. There were strange carvings on the walls. Symbols burned into the wood, and a dark, sticky stain that trailed from the floor to the far corner. Jake pointed his flashlight at it. "Animal blood?" he guessed. But the handprints around it were too small for any animal. We didn't stay long. When we got back in the car, I noticed the clock on the dashboard read 2:11 a.m. But we hadn't been gone more than 40 minutes. It was only supposed to be around 10 p.m. I didn't say anything, but I couldn't stop watching the mirror. For a moment, as we turned back onto Route 19, I thought I saw someone standing in the clearing. Tall, thin, just standing there, watching. We didn't talk about it again. For years, that night sat in the back of my mind like a bad dream. Jake joined the Army after graduation, and I stayed in town, working nights at a gas station off Route 19. Then, about 6 years later, Jake came home. It was December, bitter cold, and we were both up late drinking. Out of nowhere, he said, "You remember that cabin?" I didn't even have to ask which one. He told me he'd been dreaming about it for months. In the dreams, he was always walking down that dirt path again. Only this time, he wasn't alone. He said he could hear something breathing beside him, something that whispered in a voice that wasn't human. Then one night, he said, he woke up standing in the woods, barefoot, covered in mud. He lived over 5 miles from Route 19. I laughed it off, but deep down, I was terrified. He looked pale, almost sickly, like he hadn't slept in days. The next morning, Jake was gone. No note, no call, his car was still in the driveway. The police searched for weeks. They found his footprints near the tree line behind our old house, heading towards Route 19. And then nothing. 2 months later, I couldn't take it anymore. I drove out to Route 19 myself. I told myself I just wanted closure. But really, I think I wanted to prove the cabin wasn't real. that we just imagined it. Except, when I found the path, it looked exactly the same. Even the old tire marks were there, as if waiting for me. When I reached the clearing, I froze. The cabin was still standing, but it looked newer. The boards were gone from the windows, the roof didn't sag anymore, and smoke was rising from the chimney. I killed the engine. My hands were shaking. From inside, I heard faint music, an old tune, something like a lullaby. And then, a voice. "Come in, kid. You're late." It was Jake. I ran. I don't even remember turning the car around. I just remember the lights of Route 19 finally breaking through the trees and not stopping until I was miles away. I tried to tell people. No one believed me, of course. They said grief does weird things to your head. But last week, a friend of mine, a guy I work with, told me he took that same path. He said there's no cabin there anymore, just a wide, empty clearing. But he swears when he killed his headlights, he saw a glow deep in the trees, like a fire, and silhouettes moving around it. He said one of them waved at him, and when he drove off, his radio started playing that same lullaby. The fire is burning low now. If you enjoyed the story, stay close. There are many more to tell. Until next time, sleep with one eye open. You're never truly alone when you're near the fire.